Hello and welcome to Destiny Digits. This is the life path reading for life path number 6. So 6 is, you guys are just like loving sweethearts, very nurturing and protective. You're caretakers, you're lovers, we have the Empress here, no surprise, but that's the energy of a 6, a nurturer, somebody who's just very compassionate, very sympathetic. 6 is a number of balance. Just equal give and take. And a lot of times, 6s, it can be difficult because, we can become overly responsible for people who aren't pulling their own weight. So when I say equal give and take, like that's the ideal form of you being in energetic connections with others when things are equal. But because you are abundantly, a nurturer, sometimes that can be a trigger for people to think that doing less isn't required. I just felt like I had to say that. Okay. So this is like a temp checks to see where we are in our purpose, our path. Where are we at right now? What are we being called to do? What space are we walking in? So card number 1 tells us where you are. That's individuality. It says every person has their own personalized study plan in this earth school. And so contrary to the structure of, the typical education system in the States, one lesson plan, one format, one curriculum cannot fit every student, right? And I'm also a former school teacher. But I also want to say that when we're looking at our life is a school. And so one plan does not work for every human. We actually have our own journey, which is why the significance of the life path is so great, because it reveals to you your journey, right? And so your journey is being revealed to you by the energy that you carry. And as a 6, you're a nurturer. And so when you accept that, we have Wheel of Fortune beneath individuality. Things start to turn in your favor. It's like finally things are turning in the right direction because you're walking in your plan and your purpose. You're okay with your path, and you're also totally fine with the path that others have chosen for themselves. Beneath the Wheel of Fortune, it says, I choose to learn through love. And so you carry love, you offer love, and every experience we have with others those are lessons in love, whether it's in abundance or in scarcity. It's all levels of love and lessons of love, but in our own way, in our own story. So that's the space you're in, walking in your own. So what's your task? Your current task, we have worth. It says you've been worthy to belong to love all along without any need to improve. In fact, you are love itself. And the Empress is beneath that. Like, come on, 6s, how beautiful. And so this is saying, like, when we're in relationships that convince us, or I don't know why I went straight to relationships, but when we are in anything that makes us feel like we have to be a slave to it in order to reap benefits, that is false, right? But sometimes we've seen those things play out in front of us, and we believe those patterns of behaviors to be true for what we deserve, right? But this walking in your own truth is revealing to you your worth, your story, in the way it is assigned to you. Not only are you loved, but you don't have to lose self, struggle. It doesn't have to be a fight to get it. And so anything that didn't reveal to you your status of the Empress has to fade away. It's not a reflection of what is truly for you. And so when you understand your worth, things will leave that didn't respect that, and things will come that honor that. And so what I heard when I was shuffling is my beauty is my birthright. And so Empress, this energy, this is a beautiful energy. And so aesthetically, physically, you could be a person that is very stunning and striking, or people stare for many different reasons. But that also happens for the energy that you carry. And I think that's most true with this Empress and with the worth. Beneath the Empress, it says my vibes speak louder than my words. And so when I say my beauty is my birthright, I mean the beautiful energy that you just sit in, that you resonate, that you spew, it's you. And that's not going to work for everyone in every space. And so any space, person, place, or thing, even mindset, behavior, any addiction, anything you're doing that doesn't reflect the true worth of you must go. right? And so that's your current task, is realizing that your worth needs to be reflected in the life that you're living. And you have to be fearless and unapologetic about that. So what's difficult here? Well, we have limitless. It says, see yourself open to receive in the most miraculous ways. The divine can use anything and anyone. The divine can use anything and anyone. And so listen, this is saying everything is fair game. It's difficult though, right? So when we've been beaten up and bruised and we've been through struggles, like we kind of like are kind of sketchy, like side-eyeing everything and everyone. But the idea is when we think that our circumstance can only improve in a certain way, we are limiting ourselves, and we're not allowing the universe to be what it is, right? Bigger than us, better than us, intuitive, understanding, conscious, like all-knowing. Like we need to realize that we do not always know best, and we can limit ourselves by allowing our attachments to outcomes to dominate us. So beneath limitless, we have the Nine of Wands, and that's that energy of like, I'm kind of sketched out about this, like I've been through a lot, I'm a little bit anxious, like how is this going to turn out? Like, that's that questioning, like, I mean, I can do it, but do I want to do it? Is it worth it? That's that leveling up kind of thing, and so when something is presented to you, this is the energy that we'll have to overcome. We'll just have to push through the fears. We'll just have to go for it, right? Because this is the wounded warrior. This is someone who's wounded because they kept going again and again. And so that's the energy that we can't lose. And so we have to, even when anxious, even when sketched out about people, places, and things that come to us, we have to realize that everything is working in our favor. And we don't know how things can come. So go for it and trust. My outer experiences, this is beneath the Nine of Wands, my outer experiences are a reflection of my internal condition. And so this talks about reflection. And so this is about not being surprised about where our life is. This is always being, like, we can just be truthful with self, right? This is saying, look, I don't like the space I'm in. I don't like the people I'm with. I don't like this job. You know what? I actually don't even like these socks. But this is about just being honest. And this is not all about things being bad, but I'm saying how it's about being vulnerable with self. Being vulnerable. Right? And when you can be vulnerable with how you are feeling with your outer world, you can attack and mend and heal and really start to help yourself in the inner world, right? Like both, it is a language. And so what we're seeing and sensing in the 3D reality is an indication. It is a mirror of our inside. And so when we're sketchy, when we have anxiety, because there's something inside of us that has to be worked through. And so that's where we release ourselves from these egoic attachments, where we think that when we're only able to see ourselves in a certain way. This Nine of Wands is limited because it can only see things in a certain way, and it's a little unsure. But this is what you overcome, because the universe is always working in your favor. Like, it is the best co-pilot ever. You're co-creating. And so where you end, where your power has no more oomph or strength in it, you have to allow something bigger to come, right? And so that could be difficult. That's the difficulty space right now, right? Really understanding that the inner and an outer are a story. It's a language, it's a communication, it's a conversation. And to fix one, you've got to fix both, right? And to fix both, it requires a level of expansion and surrender and consciousness to the bigger story, right? The energy that you carry, but also this existence is really always working for you, not against you. So your strengths, we have awakening. Maybe this is something you're understanding. It says, "Oh, my Lord, wake me from life as a spiritual sheep. May I hear you through my own instincts and common sense." And so this talks about being tapped into our inner self, and I'm talking about our intuition. This is our soul, our spirit. This is what we carry from life to life, existence to existence. Our body will perish, will never be this form again, but something will stay. And so that's the soul that is journeying. And so this is saying, what can help you in this moment? Where can you find strength in the space that you're in? Your instincts, through listening, right? And just basic common sense. And so you're awakening to that whisper within, right? You're awakening to it. You've been asleep. And so in order to change the outer world, we have to listen to the inner world. And so that's what you're beginning to hear and to understand and to trust. Now, beneath awakening, we have the devil. And so I feel like this is almost talking about anything that attempt to keep you asleep would be the devil. That's what the devil would represent here to me. I think it's, you're learning about things that kept you tied or bound or held to a lesser version of self. That could be people, places, things, and also your own personal behaviors that you weren't able to free yourself from in order to wake up. But now you are waking up, and even those devilish type energies are becoming clear to you. Beneath the devil, we have the moment I realign with love, clear direction is presented to me. And so the devil is pretty much anything that blocked you from love. Once you wake up, you realize that everything is working in your favor, and you were always worth, having the best outcomes. And so once you wake up to that, once you realize that, that's really about you finally tapping into love in its purest form. That's the energy that you carry as a 6 anyway. But this Empress is just so powerful, because I just feel like as this wheel turns, it's like the reveal. You are finally stepping into your worth, right? And it took us a minute to get here, just because of the journey, the struggle, and the limits that we put on ourselves, or we allowed ourselves to be boxed into by other people, places, or things. And so the outcome, what's our goal in this situation? We have right action. Let everything that wants to go, go. And everything that wants to come, come. Yo, fierce. I love it. Now that's detachment. That is surrender. That is the goal. That is what you're getting to. Remember, we started with individuality. This is you accepting that everybody has their own plan. I'm worth what I'm worth, and it's not going to change depending on who's in my life or who's not in my life. So, what is for me is for me. What is not is not. That's power, and that's what you're awakening to. And listen, by being asleep, we were limiting ourselves in situations that probably weren't for us, that were well past their expiration date. So beneath right action, we have 4 of Swords, and this is putting things to rest. This is really reconciling within self. And so remember, we had the card about the inner condition is really the outer reflection or the outer experience. And so I feel like with this 4 of Swords, it's like you're finally making peace with the story that you were watching unfold in your life. And because you woke up within, you stopped that track. Like, you literally push stop. You're like, I'm not watching this anymore. We're done. Like, we're not doing this. If you want to go, go. If you're meant for me, you'll stay. But I'm not holding on to anyone or anything. Like, I am not bound to anyone or anything. I am limitless. There is no ceiling. There is no one thing. Everything is a possibility. And so the 4 of Swords is really taking a moment to rest and to kind of collect self, so that you can literally live in that clarity space of what's for me is for me. I will let go what wants to go, and what will stay, what is meant to be, it will come. Beneath the 4 of Swords, we have the universe works fast when I'm having fun. And so this peace, this moment of reflection, this time out is really so that you can finally step into a new energy, right? It's hard to have fun in life when we're dragging around people, places, and things, or energies or beliefs that really are holding us down and not even pushing us or growing us to our best version of self. And so once we can put these things to rest, we can finally have fun and begin to engage, and things can actually happen a lot quicker when our energy is just aligned and there are no blockages, right? And so we have to step into what we want to receive, what we want to come our way. We have to already be living in that. And so after you get through this pause, it's kind of like, whew, you know, I feel like finally you can inject that love. You can be what you naturally are as a 6. So at the bottom of the first deck, we have courage. And it says, let me be open to courageously take the steps that are shown. And so this is, let me just say something. Courage, yes, is taking steps, right? But I think what's significant here is the steps that are shown. Not the steps that I thought, not the steps that I wanted, not the steps that I expected. But whatever is shown, I will take it. And that's why it's courage, because you don't know what's going to present. But you're saying, no matter what, I'll take the step, right? And maybe only one step is visible. Maybe only a half of that step is visible. You don't even know how big the step is. Is it going to hold 1 foot, 2 feet? Like, do I have to get on my tippy toes? But courage is literally not knowing anything except for the fact that I will engage. I will engage with my life, right? Beneath courage, at the bottom of the tarot deck, we had 9 of Pentacles, and I just feel this is about self-fulfillment. This is stepping into an energy where, listen, like, I want to live a life that I love. I want to live a life that reflects my beauty. I don't want to be afraid to look at my life. Like, I want to look at my day. I want to be able to journal and reflect on what I'm doing and to be happy when I go back and I read my own story. And so that's the energy that you're walking into. That's what you're calling into. That's what you're birthing in this Empress. You're birthing a life that reflects your worth. And the 9 of Pentacles, you know, 9 is a number of giving, selflessness, right? And so as a 6, that's naturally who you are. But don't you want to be that in situations that are really meant for you, that are truly valuing your time, energy, and space? Beneath the 9 of Pentacles, at the bottom, it says, when I focus on my inner light, I see the world through the lens of love. And so this is saying that, listen, no matter what situations I go through, if I always focus, if I can't believe what's being projected onto me or around me, there's something that I carry, and that's what I'm going to honor. That's what I'm going to hold on to. Because when I hold on to that, I realize that no matter how tragic this story or chaotic this moment is in my life, it's really bringing me to love. It's revealing something to me about love. Life is nothing but a big love story, and we all have our own lesson plan that teaches us about it. And so in order to see that, you have to focus on your gift, what you're bringing to the journey, what you're bringing to the table, right? And so when you know that you are carrying something valuable, it can really get you through those dark times. It can give you the courage to keep pursuing and going and allowing things to go so that new things to come. But nonetheless, you're getting to this space of just self-fulfillment, just contentment, just happiness with where you are. So 9 of Pentacles I often hear is a pre-Empress energy, and you've got Empress and pre-Empress. So this is an intentional moment. This is like a legit transition or phase or leveling up. You are absolutely clear about what you're doing and why you're doing it, right? And so to the left, I had some extra cards come out. And so the first one we had was guidance. It says, when you make divine intelligence your foundation, you finally have a fixed star to follow. And true surrender is saying, I don't know where I'm going. You know what I mean? This life thing is pretty big. There's a lot of stuff I don't know. I know what I'm told, but I also know that anything I thought I know, I really don't know. I don't know where I'm going. So I surrender. I let whatever created me in this thing to be my guide. Just guide me wherever that is, whatever that means. I'll bring my courage. You just guide me. And so as soon as you step into that space, my goodness, the path becomes clear, right? So beneath guidance, we had the Tower. So the Tower is listen. Anything fake must go. That's that right action card. Listen. If you want to go, go. If you want to stay, stay. What's coming is coming. That's that Tower moment. Things that are not meant must be broken, released, rebuilt. Foundations must be secure. We did have a foundation card. That was the guidance card. And so this is about making divine intelligence your foundation, right? Not false beliefs. Devil card, 9 of Wands, no anxiety. This is not limiting ourselves. This is not making beliefs out of our own sleepiness, right? This is about you are in this space of awareness now. And that awareness doesn't mean that you know it all. It means you know nothing, and you surrender to the intelligence of this universe, this existence, this life, this story. And it's when you do that your path becomes clear. And that's where it may feel like it's like you think you don't know it all, but it may look that way because things are just working. Things are just clicking. Your path is just unfolding beautifully, Things are smooth sailing. On the guidance card, you have the butterfly, which is transformation, but this is just a beautiful card that all things work in my favor. This is about knowing that and trusting that, right? And so when you know that, towers can fall. Let it fall. After the Tower is the 7 of Cups, and this is about needing to make a choice, right? And so what are we going to choose? 5 of Swords, this is an energy of defeat or loss, but mental, this is about our mindset. This is about, our mind not really being able to be free or find clarity, not being able to make sense of something, not knowing how to get from one space to another. But this is about mental freedom, right? Constantly feeling like, God, I keep losing to this thing. And so it's because the foundation wasn't built with divine intelligence, right? And so as soon as we make this choice, and the choice is literally to surrender to what's greater than us. That is the choice. That's when things become clear, right? And so looking at these cups, if these cups are not presented to us from the divine, if these are things that we've just mustered up out of our own ego, then we're going to keep getting to the 5 of Swords because it's not for us. Right? It's not aligned with us. It's not in our path. These towers are going to keep coming. And so it's almost like this cycle that we have to live in. And when we wake up from that sleepiness, it's like, oh, okay. I just need to kind of wait and see and trust and just take the steps as they're presented to me, because I understand that every step leads me to my 9 of Pentacles, my fulfillment, right? In order for my life to change, I have to listen. I have to learn. I have to, you know what I mean? I have to realize that I have my own agenda. I have to silence the things that have put me in boxes and tried to, devalue me in some kind of way. And anything that doesn't allow me to operate in this nurturing, loving, empress status type energy, then it's affecting my vibes. It's impacting me. It's taking from me. And so at any point that I'm not happy with my life, if your life were a TV show and you were to watch it, if it is something that does not please you, then those are those tower moments and those shifts that are leaving. And you are surrendering to the divine, because you understand that when something leaves, something replaces it, right? And you know that whatever that replacement is divinely guided. And it will reflect your worth, and you are not attaching any specific thing to what will come, right? You just know it's all in your favor. All right, sexes. Thank you so much for stopping by, and I hope this was helpful. Take care.